Good afternoon everybody, welcome back to another feature. I'm really enjoying these are great. Rocking up to all these houses and meeting all these people and seeing all these cars, some of them I've never seen before. I am just as excited to check all these out as I'm sure you guys might be to watch some of these. So check this out, this is Dard Haus HQ and these guys have quite an awesome collection. So we've got Jesse in the back here. So Jesse owns the 31 and the Impala. There's also some more goodies around the place. However, we'll let Jesse run us through these.
Hi, what's going on? Welcome to Dard Haus, basically. So what we got here is me and my other two housemates' cars. Pretty much R31s are our, kind of common ground. We've all either owned them or do own them still. Hence why we've kind of made our name Dard Haus. It's a long story, but I was going to say,
where does the origin of Dard Haus come from? So Dard is an Australian slang for a cigarette?
Yeah, that, and it also means in like some Aboriginal communities a good thing. Okay. Where I'm from. That's just like kind of what started it. So a Dard was, a good thing, and obviously these are being live axle, RB30, lots of them manual and cheap back in the day. So like it was a good fun time, and yeah, we kind of just adopted that. And house spelt like that because it fits well on a sticker. It was started as just a bit of a joke, like between mates, just all driving the same car. We all got amongst it and got around. Just yeah.
What is it?
This is a 1987 R31 Skyline TI. It's got the electric windows and velour interior and stuff like that came with the upmarket model. This has been S3 front swapped. It's got a RB25 DT S2 out of an R33 in it. A few other little spicy parts and a 3-inch straight pipe, just to let you know it's got an RB in it.
And this colour's pretty unique. You said the previous owner done this colour?
Yeah, so I bought the car painted. It was kind of to do a reshell on it. Previously I had a black one with a lot of rust in it and other issues that R31s are plagued with. And he had painted it in a custom mix of FG Falcon Swift Green.
The surprises don't stop there. You've already told me, but you'll have to tell these guys, or do you want to just pop the bonnet for them?
Here we are. So, really nothing special. I'm waiting on selling a bunch of stuff to buy Haltech and Loom for it. It's currently running a standard ECU, and I've upgraded the turbo to a GDX 3076 Gen 2. I
like your air horns.
Yeah, they came with it actually. The old people who owned it, from new, came from Toowoomba, and they took really good care of this car. So, like little things that you don't notice on other R31s, like the door opening really nicely. Insides of the door jambs are still in very good nick. There is a couple of smoking things in here, but what's an old Japanese car without a bit of smoking damage?
Oh man, all these R31s have such cool seats. Yeah. I don't think I've seen the same pair of seats in a single R31.
I do also have another steering wheel for it that is a Tal Volante 4ML that I want to put on it, but I don't have a right boss kit for it at the moment. That's the original colour on the inside of the door jambs as well, so it's pretty similar-ish.
Oh yeah.
It was a green colour to begin with, which definitely helped with the closed door respray process.
Yeah.
And there's on the passenger seat the original Nissan headphones that came with the car.
What?
The back of the center console, yeah.
Original Nissan headphones?
Yep, they were an absolute mission to find, I'll tell you that.
What?
And they work, because it's still got the factory stereo in it.
They still work with the factory stereo?
Yep.
So you can listen to your cassette?
Yep.
So, oh my god, I've never even seen one of these before. That's so cool. Look at this. Can I touch them? Yeah. They're collector's items, I don't want to ruin them.
I feel bad about leaving them out on the seat headrest like that, but it looks cool.
That looks rad. Jesus, damn. Is that your bicycle tire as a 3 color?
No, that is actually off a Brisbane City train. Yeah. I obtained it legally. Do them to your own style as well, like there's plenty of options. You can do big wheel, big skirts and bumpers and that kind of stuff. There's a lot of new parts and that are coming out on the market for them because of popularity Probably just due to the fact that they're still cheap, relatively, in comparison to...
Sorry, that door was really nice to shut.
Yeah, honestly, like that's one of the things that always gets me. It's got
like the rubber cushioning, it's like...
it's still got 130,000 Ks on it, so it's honestly like really not that bad of a car. Yeah, at its core.
Look at it, it looks so pretty. You done really well with the wheel choice too. It suits so well.
Thanks. There are Volk Racing Mesh competition series, so there's a little bit of a difference in the barrel thickness. The 15 by 8 neg 10 on the front and 15 by 8.5 neg 5 on the rear, which pretty much sits dead on the same at the lip. So yeah, they work pretty well, but I got to roll the rear guards a bit more and lower it just a bit more.
Just a bit more?
Yeah, it's a bit hard with these things. The chassis rails hang really low. As you can see, it's probably nearly dragging in the grass there.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Honestly, you should see it at night with the tail lights turned on. That's where it really shines.
Oh man, I would just love to see this out driving. It is so damn cool. I totally understand why you wouldn't though.
Yeah, look.
Do you want to tell the internet that story?
Sure. So I bought this car about probably 6 years ago now. I think it was, I don't even know what year that is, but it was a rocky part in my life where I'd done a few things here and there to get the money to get it together to try and make a car out of all the buying and selling cars that I'd done so far in my life. So this is my 18th R31 Skyline that I've owned, and I wanted to make it the last one that I had, so I wanted to do it properly and buy one that was painted and all that stuff. So I had to travel to do it, and I used to come from Mackay, like up north, so there was a bit of a travel down to Brisbane to pick up a new car kind of excitement, and I came down and picked it up, and the motor actually had a rod knock when I picked it up, and I didn't get told this by the previous owner. So I picked it up, it had no bonnet support, nothing in it, it'd just been painted, and I slapped plates on it and drove it from Brisbane to Mackay. A bit faster than I probably should have. I came over the top of a crest one night at about 2 o'clock in the morning, somewhere over the speed limit heavily, and went past what I believed to be a cop, but I was going too quick to see him, and I continued to do the whole trip up north relatively fast and put it away in a shed and hid it for the next 4 years, because every time I took it out I would get either pulled over or followed or anything like that, because it's just a bit too shiny to kind of go under the radar.
So you were just kind of worried about it being flagged? Yeah,
pretty much. And I've got a few kind of hooning offences to my name from street crimes back in the day, and having an illegally modified car in Queensland can be a really big problem. Something as simple as a locker can put the car in a tow truck, see you later. In my case, this would be crushed. So that's why it's unregistered at the moment, and left the way that it is. I basically brought it down to Brisbane probably about a year ago, which is when I've started really kind of fixing it up and getting it to the point where I'm happy with the conversion. I was about 18 or 19 or so when I did it the first time, so I ended up cutting corners here and there on things that I probably shouldn't have, and hence why it's still got a standard ECU in it and that kind of stuff. And yeah, basically it is how you see it now, as a culmination of all of my efforts of buying and selling cars since I was 15 years old.
Wow.
So
what started the love for the 31s?
When I was 17, I was in grade 12, and I was sitting down at a classroom at my school that you could see straight out the front to where like the pickup area is, and the hottest girl in school obviously walks out the front, and I'm having a look, and she walks out, and she doesn't get in the Camry or anything like that, but she hopped in the passenger seat of a full murdered black R32 Skyline. And at that point I knew Skyline was the answer, clearly. So
did you get the girl in the long run?
Yeah, actually, like I did.
Excellent.
I pretty much bought an R31 for $600, which was the going rate for one at the time, and drove it around for my daily for maybe the next 2 years or so. And actually one day they did break up, and she asked me to go for a drive in my Skyline because I had one, and
hey.
that was the absolute win, and I knew at that point that I was hooked for life.
That's
so
fairy tale ending. Cars do get the girls.
Yeah, they do. They definitely do, especially pretty Skylines every time. And there's something about that twin cam RB that just every time.
That was awesome. I'm Myron hard.
Thank you. Honestly, it's like, yeah, it means a lot to me. It's been around for a long time now, probably the longest I've ever actually owned a car for. I'm usually going through them very quickly. I've thought about selling it multiple times, but I could never live my life without an R31, and I don't think that I could get a better one than this easily. Not saying it's perfect, don't look too close, but it's definitely something that I'm pretty proud of. So
Jesse's full of surprises. So we have not only this RB25 31, but you've also got this, of all things.
Yeah, look, so I'm actually from a bit of a muscle car background. My dad's a big Ford man, which is probably a surprise seeing because I have a Chevy, but he owned like XY GTs and stuff like that when I was a kid. He did a lot of, helping me fix stuff and all that kind of stuff as a teenager. And it kind of grew my love for stuff with V8s in it as well. Obviously I also had this alter ego of having Jap cars as well that kind of clashed at some points, but I ended up with kind of two of, best of both worlds, what I wanted. This was a car that I bought from a mate of mine's dad. He had it for 16 years. It was pretty much as you see it now when he bought it. He took the car from Bundaberg and drove it up to Mackay, where I bought the car from, and basically left it there after it ran out of rego. So I found this thing covered in dust, sitting pretty much in a barn, I'd guess, like an old shed, and I offered him some money for it, and he turned me down originally. So this is probably about 7 or 8 years ago that I did that.
Did it have a lot of sentimental value to it?
Yeah, so like, their family and that used to go Christmas light looking in it, and you can put as many people as you want in it because there's no seat belts kind of thing, and they had a lot of fun times, and it was a big part of their family, so I understood exactly why I didn't want to sell it to me. But eventually the day came where I kind of got a phone call, and it was a bit of a, do you still want to buy the Chev? And I was like, of course I do, because who wouldn't want an Impala, or at least I would really like an Impala. So I went up there, we did some talking, we came to a conclusion on price, and I came down here in an absolute frenzy. So I was broke 3 weeks before I bought this car, and then I sold all of the other stuff that I would consider stock. So basically every car that I had besides the green car. Yeah, produced the cash, went up there, bought it. It did not drive. It ran, but it didn't drive. It didn't have brakes or anything like that. So whilst I was up there, I rebuilt the master cylinder, did a few things here and there, basically just preventative maintenance, so stuff like distributors in these have a points distributor, so I threw that out and put a like magnetic pickup one in there instead, which is pretty much good for 100,000 miles, so it's ready to go. And yeah, fix the brakes, and that's basically it, because this thing's bulletproof and I drive it every day now. This is my daily driver.
So this is your daily?
Yep.
That is rad. So this is your everyday car, and this is the hidden away one, because you get left alone in this one.
Yep. No,
but
I've
you
never
would
been
probably
pulled
get
over in it.
harassed in the 31.
Yep.
Isn't it crazy?
It is absolutely crazy. I've never understood it at all. Considering this has like 4-wheel drum brakes and is
no
very
seatbelts.
No seatbelts as well.
Pillarless.
Yep. There's a lot of aspects to it that don't make any sense as to why people would think it would be safe or even okay to drive on the street, but I'm glad that we can. So
I'm gonna have a look at this. This thing is like, is it almost like twice the length of the 31?
Yeah, I think it's like a easy nearly 2 meters, like 1.8 meters longer or something.
1.8 meters.
A short car.
Yeah, no, it's like that's a 4-door. That's not a coupe.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
I'll show you under the bonnet.
Yeah.
Not like there's anything special in here, but that is the original numbers matching 327. And it's got a power glide behind it, and that was what every single one of these came with. This is actually a Holden
Comes
built.
factory with a power glide.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's a iron case power glide, like the one that people put the turbo 400 shaft in and make big power go through them. So there's plenty of potential for like big block swaps and all kinds of things that you can do to these cars, but I don't really need it to do that because it has no seat belts and really bad brakes. So we won't try and make it go fast. Yeah. Interesting thing about this is it's actually a Canadian built right-hand drive Impala that was then assembled by Holden.
Wow, really?
So it's got Holden plates up there on the firewall, and like it's...
And John Moe and co?
Yeah, that was the original
guys.
people who built it when they put it together. They were called complete knockdowns. So it was sent over here in a box, basically.
The whole car was sent over here in a box?
Yep.
Damn.
There was 530 of them made in 1968, and all of them were 327 Power Glide drum brake sedans. There was no coupes or anything made for the Australian market, but yeah, pretty rare car. Really strange to see one kind of, you know, at your local shops, like where I park it. But yeah, it's an absolute blast to drive, and I genuinely haven't had a car that's driven so well and been so reliable for how much effort I've put into it. So if you're thinking about buying one, I can recommend it 100%.
So all the old cars seem to have that in common. They're just so much fun to drive.
Yeah, it is absolutely beautiful, just like butter. It has basically no shocks left in it. So
no shocks, so some bump stops?
Yeah, it really does just glide, and it's just something else with that, like, you know, one finger power steering type of vibe and that kind of stuff. So it's absolute dream to drive.
This was the previous owner?
Yeah, all that stuff happened. I have the badge for the front of it and that kind of stuff, but the price was right, let me put it that way.
That's awesome. What's your plans with it? So a bit of a resto, or you like it as is?
I'm going to eventually probably do a bit of a, you know, like lace job on the roof. I want to get it all nice and straight and paint it like a really nice shiny gloss black with a bit of a purple kind of fleck in it.
Yep.
The interior's been redone probably in the late 90s, early 2000s, and it's got a kind of a 90s bus seat pattern in it, like all good things from the 90s.
I did notice that. That actually looks like it's in pretty good nick too.
Yeah, it's not too bad. There is a couple of nicks and marks. The same pattern would have been on the factory vinyl, but they've just replaced it with like a cloth insert.
Okay.
So
it's like a lounge chair back here.
yeah.
You even found floor mats to match. That's cute.
It's got 22,000 miles on it, original miles, so it hasn't really done much work in its life. These things were kind of pretty regal back in the day. If you were to buy one, this cost about 3 times as much as the top of the line, like Statesman of the era. So
yeah,
there's really kind of limited amount of them that really got used.
the whole pillarless thing makes this so easy.
Something else driving it through the city, I'll tell you that much. All the looks you get.
Do you ever do like the Friday night club drop-offs for your mates? And
yeah, I've definitely done a few drop-offs in it. I'm pretty keen to kind of like start driving around a little bit more than I do already now, and go and, you know, do some kind of classic car cruises and stuff that run, you know, in Southside and Gold Coast and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You meet some Impala friends and all that kind of stuff.
Alright, so it doesn't stop just there. So Jesse not only has the R31 and the Impala, but he also has a bunch of roommates, they've just walked off somewhere, that have cars here too. So it wouldn't be Dard Haus HQ unless there was a whole collection of really cool stuff. So let's go check out the other toys. If you want to see more of Jesse's cars, Jesse, do you have an Instagram?
Yeah, it's just _ Dard Haus _ so spelled like the sticker as before, obviously.
Okay.
And you should be able to find all of our personal Instagrams and stuff as well on that, so you can go through and look at all the individual stuff if you'd like to. This here is a either 1983 or 1984, I'm not sure. This is my housemate Alex's car. 1984 Celica RA65, notchback obviously. It's had extensive modifications from standard. This was a full flared original GT car at one point, so it's got the fancy seats like out of the Supra and that kind of stuff in it. All the rest of the interior gone, and obviously the Twinkie steering wheel on there just to add a little bit of that AE86 vibe, like the suspension that's in it.
So it's got AE86 suspension?
Yeah, it's got some custom steering arms that he milled up way back when. They had some, you know, chamfered drill bits and stuff to make all that stuff back in the day. S13 coilover tops, I think, and MX73 or 83 hubs and knuckles, I believe, to get, you know, a bit better brakes on it. I think it's 73.
Oh, he's got brake cookers.
Yeah.
Ooh, they're really cool looking though.
Some fresh NS2Rs. So this car is nowhere near standard. Obviously it would have had a 22 RE. It has now got an SR20 DE plus T in it. So,
oh yeah.
It's got a S14 loom on it, I believe it now, and yeah, front mount intercooler and some basic stuff. It was NA for a long time, and it has been in that configuration since probably 2000 and, well, I'm guessing here, maybe 2016 or so. So it's been around for a long time.
And the biggest mod that we haven't pointed out yet is actually aesthetic.
So besides the fact that it's got a Nissan motor in it, it has also got a crudely done R31 front. This is the world's first R31 notchback coupe in all its glory.
That is damn cool.
Look, it kind of just fell together once we put the guards on it and realised that they would like sort of fit like that, and put the bonnet on and it wasn't too wide. I guess it all kind of just unfolded from there.
It looks like a bunch of old drift parts as well, like, so there was no great loss in doing the conversion.
Yeah, all of this stuff came off of like cars that we parted out in the past, so pretty much like we have more pairs of these headlights than we know what to do with grills, bonnets and guards and stuff like that. It's definitely something different.
Yeah.
Definitely
that's rad.
Different.
I'll have a quick look at the interior again. I like it.
Purpose built.
Yeah, full function. The most important things are right in front of your face. Alright, so we have this lovely S15 over here.
This is my other housemate Howie's car. It is a Spec R S15, 6-speed manual, SR20 det obviously, and sunroof. Apparently this colour red is relatively rare as well. He was pretty lucky to pick it up back in the day. He bought this a long time ago, well before I knew him, and it was a full stock car, didn't even have coilovers in it or anything, so everything that you can see that's been done to it has been done to it, you know, in his ownership. There's like a lot of money's worth of headlights.
I was about to say, the headlights look pretty fancy.
Yeah, I don't even know what they cost, but probably more than my whole R31.
Damn.
And I think it's JSIA Aero body kit that's on it at the moment, just to bring it to, what is it, Nismo spec, I believe. And also, it's got like adjustable arms in it, pretty much everywhere that it can.
Does he drift it? Like, is it a street car?
Not really. He runs semi-slicks like Ventus RS4s all around, and pretty much just follows us.
Just follows you guys?
Yeah, like up hills and that kind of stuff. It's
enjoyment car.
It's a really nice hooked in like setup car. Like you can take a really fast corner in it and it will just squat and go through the corner beautifully. It's not really set up for drifting, although if you whack some stockies on the back of it and clutch kick third, it'll do it. So
you need to look at updating mods, like Power FCs are 20 plus years old.
Yep, and tuning from a hand controller is not desirable in any circumstance. So, you know, having something that's just a little bit more modern and kind of with the times is definitely going to help. And all the old technology's done for. Like we've seen it happen with RB30s. Obviously, they run an airflow meter like any other kind of import of the same era, and you know, like it's impossible to find one that works still. So going to a map sensor and having everything updated is just, it's the only way to move forward now that we're getting into that 30 plus age bracket.
Finding people that can tune like the old school stuff too is kind of hard. Like some of the I think Greddy e-managers, some of the guys don't even have the software for that. They have to run 95, Windows 98.
That's
some piggybacks.
Most of them are off of 32-bit operating systems, so old school operating systems, and that's why a lot of the older stuff is kind of just getting phased out, and that's completely fair too. So
she's definitely seen some track days.
Oh yeah, there's a washing machine welded into the other side.
What? A washing machine?
Yeah. So as you can see, this is not just dinted. This is from there, welded down, joined here somewhere.
Okay.
This is, one part of it's an oven door and the other part is a washing machine.
What?
This car had a lot of the structure cut out, and I had another R31 track car that we took down to Rally Raceway for a private track day event over a weekend, and he was going too slow, to put it simply. So I kind of came up and gave him a nudge, and that nudge turned into this whole quarter panel being pretty much inside the car.
Was this a nudge with one of your older 31s?
31s, yeah. It did not.
I was about to say, how'd the 31 get out of it?
Nothing happened. Didn't crack a headlight. It just marked it with red paint, pushed it out of the way, kept moving.
You gotta love, I suppose, if they're not known as dards, they're definitely known as like the bricks, because they just
100%.
pummel everything.
Yep. We have another car, obviously, the S12 to look at as well, so we'll come around here.
It's the vlog that just keeps giving. Including dead frogs. Sorry, which one?
This is Alex's other car, so the same guy that owns the Celica.
Okay, so I really like his old retro.
Yeah, just absolutely his style, you know, like he's always had stuff like this. He was actually a Beamer bloke before this, so he's got a couple of E30s as well, had a couple of E30s, one of them I think he's doing something with, but...
Okay.
So there's no way this is locked. Of course it is.
It's a nice little clean S12.
This is SR20 DT swapped as well.
Excellent. Red top? Or VCT?
Actually, I think it was, no, there was an Autech motor in it, Autech S15 motor that got plus T'd.
Yep.
And then he put another motor in it that he built. What? S13. Yeah.
Thank you. You want to jump in, Howie?
Yeah.
Come run, give us a rundown, Howie.
Oh, come on, Howie.
Howie's been hiding from the camera. He owns the red S15 in the garage.
So, yeah, like,
It
what?
had the Autech motor in it. Just before we moved up, had to get a motor into the Celica. So we threw the Autech in there. This had another SR20 that's on the block up there that he did a head gasket on at a Archfield. So then he had this freshly rebuilt S13 DET motor from when he was at TAFE.
Wow.
Big game of just swapping SRs around and building them and not
Break one,
building
fix
them
another.
and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So he's got a couple of them now, and I think he's got one in reserve, which is good. So.
Oh, they're definitely pulling a premium now.
Oh yeah.
I think what the average SR used to be $800. Now we're looking at what 6K.
It's not even a week before race.
6K, yeah.
Yes.
There's a couple things that, you know, like are odd about this car. Like it's an IRS version, so it's got the same kind of IRS as a, I guess, 300ZX Z31 or a like Passage of R31, like HR31.
Yep.
They're really poorly designed. If you ask me, obviously when you lower it, you get camber and toe in, which is, some people like that, but not for me. I'm a live axle boy. It is really fast as a consequence of that, though. This is absolutely unbeatable. I've never been in something so fast up like a legal road,
Like up the hills.
in my life, and honestly, yeah, for what it is, it probably performs just like an S chassis should, but
Power to weight's pretty nuts and
yeah,
scary.
it's different though. I'd say just the way that it gets grip in the rear end is something else. It absolutely howls up a mountain.
Does he know that we're putting his car on camera today?
He'll figure it out. I don't think he'll have a problem.
Hi, Alex.
Yeah, Alex.
Hi, Alex. Who we got in chat? Who are our S12 fans? Leave a thumbs up for that one.
It's definitely not something you see very much of, and it's surprising because it has a lot of the design cues that were very popular of the time. Like a lot of people will mistake it for an AE86 immediately, but yet, you know, the prices are nowhere the same. Obviously, it's not just looks, but very capable car and pretty much overlooked, I think. So it's good to see someone doing something with it that, yeah, just kind of out of the ordinary. And that's Alex. Obviously, you can tell that by the
By the
S12
very
and
unique
Celica.
cars he has.
Yeah.
Alright, so how's that for a collection? You're an S12, an Impala, an R31, an RE65, and an S15 all in the one backyard.
Do you want me to start it?
Why not? You guys want to hear it too? Have we got to turn the fuel pump on?
No, I just gotta plug the battery in.
Plugging battery in. Do these come out factory with the battery in the boot, like most Skylines?
Nah, I put it in there.
Okay.
It's usually like, yeah, down next to the headlight.
like a 33. I'm looking at a 31, but I'm hearing a 33. Oh man, I could not leave this parked up. I totally understand why, but my god, I'd get arrested in this
Yeah,
thing.
it's killing me inside. Don't worry about it.
What do you guys reckon? We have to get Jesse out at some point in this. We'll do like a... You want to do a road trip to New South Wales? I'll get the 32 done, and that way they'll go after me instead of you.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, done. Howie, you want to come too with the newly freshly painted S15?
Yes.
Excellent. Road trip it is.
That's what it does. It sits in my backyard and gets limiter bashed. Yeah, when I put the 3076 on it, it got louder, and I didn't think that was possible, but here we are. So yeah, I upset the neighbours every now and then, but what can you do?
Do you guys have a pretty okay relationship with them?
That neighbour's pretty cool.
Okay.
He built a fence straight after he moved in, but he's pretty cool.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's got more noise pollution from the kids, probably from you and the cars.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's for us, not him.
Yeah. Hallie, would you like to wrap it up with us? Where are you gonna hide?
Sure.
It's always fun putting people on the spot. in a good way. Hey, I always look like I'm a midget because I always have the...
Yeah, look, I'm 6'2", and he's taller than me.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. I'll just sit down here.
Okay, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed meeting Jesse and meeting Howie and having a look around Dard House, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thank you very much for watching.
Cheers.
Bye.
Catches.